Hello and welcome to this week's Den of Iniquity. I'm Giz. With me is some dark-haired chick that kind of wandered in and beat me over the back of the head and said, "Giz, let me on camera. I present to ye Raven."
Hello, my ghoulies.
She threatened me. I swear, her and Greenie, they put shotguns in my face, man. Shotguns! So anyway, here we are. And apparently we are going to be discussing the finer points between short films and feature-length films. And yes, I know the obvious finer points is, one is a short and the other is a feature-length. But considering Raven's extensive experience at watching shorts and the fact that I'm a lazy git that only ever seems to watch full-length stuff, we figured, why not do a bit of a debating point. So with that in mind, seen any good shorts lately?
I don't know. Lately, I haven't been really researching them as much as I used to because I'm just kind of into my books for some reason. But there's loads of good.
The reason being that books are cool.
No, I'm always into books and they're always cool. That's my thing. I'm just a library mouse, I guess. But I've seen loads of shorts and I was actually quite surprised. One that I shared on DJs not too long ago. It's a Romanian one from my home country and it's about a really good legend about some female entities that usually possess young men into those ones that are not so faithful, might I say. Yeah, that's one that I would love to share again with the public. It's called The Story of the Yele. Have you watched it?
No, but I'm familiar with the notion of the story where, what is it, the white bride, the weeping lady. Basically the notion that you have a guy that's unfaithful, he's going along horseback in a car or whatever, sees some hot chick on the side of the road, offers to give her a lift. She comes on to him. If he messes up and goes for it, she whacks him because he was unfaithful to his missus.
Yeah, it's really similar, and I've noticed through all my research in literature in general and history, it's a reoccurrent symbol, and it's quite interesting because it kind of deals with unfaithfulness, and they're really revengeful spirits, to be fair.
Why can't we ever get the guy in white? You have your chick and she's driving along and there's some handsome bucko dressed all in white, thumbing a lift. She pulls up, picks him up, he comes onto her and, she doesn't slap him in the face, because it happens all too often. And it turns out she's unfaithful and then, he whacks her.
It's not my fault, hell hath no fury as a woman's corn, so I suppose that's
but love
why.
hath no wrath, or heaven hath no wrath like love turned to hate. That works both ways.
Yeah.
Sorry, people always remember the second part of that and they forget the first part. And the first part, you know what, that kind of includes us. Guys, it's not all about women being scorned.
No, I agree, it's not all about women. Especially not all the time.
You're just really good to be used as archetypical bad guys, though.
Hey, as a woman, especially in horror, I don't like being portrayed as being either A, revengeful, or B, that girl that just runs around headless, not thinking what she's doing in the movies.
But that's kind of the two archetypes of women. You're either a vengeful woman or, and I'm sorry, but you're the damsel in distress.
I might not just be a woman then.
But there's no drama in that. The vengeful woman can be a heroine or can be a villain. Damsel in distress can be chowder, but she can be a plot element nonetheless.
I would just be a woman and be balanced and,
That happens too, but as I said, in the dynamic of the story, a balanced female character is either not relevant to the story and is outside of it and merely a secondary character, or else she seems to fall into the heroine, damsel, or as I said, villainess archetype. It's kind of necessary to drive a plot forward.
Yes, I remember one short I shared on DGS actually talking about vengeful women and the way women in general behave towards each other and society, contemporary, lifestyle. It's called Tsume. It's Japanese short horror. It's really good and it's a cartoon, so I advise you guys that are into that to actually watch it. It's kind of... It starts really nice and normal, but it goes to the dark side quite fast. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, the way most of you tend to... Yeah, I can see it in my head how that would... Unfortunately, I I'm not going to lie. As I said, I don't do my homework. I don't watch short films as much as there's a reason that they came in and browbeat me over the back of the head with something to make me do this. I'm not going to lie. I didn't watch it. I'm sorry, but it does sound quite interesting.
I know, yeah, it'll be right up your alley, given the fact that you like your Japanese cinema and all that.
That's true, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
I do enjoy anime. It's fun. It's violent. It's music-filled, and as a result, it's just so awesome.
I enjoy anime myself, actually.
But do you find that with short films there is more of a tendency to do perhaps a more heartfelt story than you might get in feature films? I mean, a lot of times you get a feature film and it's always the same rota. It's damn near a story by numbers. You know, you get your characters, they get divided up, as I was saying, into their genres of male or female. There is damsels, secondaries, hero, heroines, morons that we're all cheering on to get eaten. But do you find that because short stories, they have such a limited time to deal with, they're able to pack in perhaps a little bit more passion than the colour by numbers stuff that you get from the feature films?
Definitely, I'd say, you know, strong essences come in really small bottles. Yeah, I love my shorts because you really don't need to make somebody sit down for 2 hours to get them across your point. You can make something that's right down to the point, visual, graphic. It can mark you forever, and it can leave you with a really good taste in your mouth, so to speak, because come on, let's all face it, we live in a really rapid society. Everything's so fast, we don't have time. And yeah, I enjoy my shorts. It's kind of fit into my daily lifestyle routine. It's a contemporary thing, I suppose. I love sitting down and watching a movie, a feature film. Don't get me wrong, everybody does, I think. But I'm more of a short kind of a
I suppose, actually, I didn't
person.
think... I actually didn't think of it in those terms until just now. The notion that because of the way society is at the moment, well, because of the way society generally is, the whole rat race as it is, it didn't actually dawn on me until just now. You know what? Yeah, you're buzzing around the place, you're doing 50 bajillion things at the same time. Screw it, I want to sit down and get scared for a few minutes. Because the real world is even more terrifying, and I don't want to put up with that, but this is a fear that I can live with, and please let it all be imaginary. So as a result, you know, I can see how shorts would definitely kick in there.
Yeah, they're making a really big comeback from what I've noticed around the internet, and I'm glad, you know, because people, I mean, and for me personally, from my own experience, somebody that will put out a good short and will pass on to the next stage of creating feature films would do a really good job if they start out with good shorts, and then the public engages with them constantly and they actually know what's out there and what's gonna impact.
Well, I think given the way that technology has gone at the moment, it's so, you were saying the way that shorts seem to become popular again. To be fair, it's not a case of shorts weren't ever unpopular. It's just that, hey, guess what? Now all you need is a wee little phone, if necessary, and there's YouTube and a bunch of editing tools, and bang, you can make your own short movie. Whereas, you know, even go back 10, 15 years ago, you needed to get cameras and lighting, and you needed to be some Nancy fucking video student or whatever else just to get the notion of what you're doing.
It's more difficult, I suppose. We didn't have as much technology on hand as today.
It wasn't just that either. I think it was also attitudes. The notion that only certain types of people could go along and make a story visually possible. The notion that you had to be knowledgeable in certain areas. Now, don't get me wrong, it's always a good idea to have knowledge in those areas, but because technology has gotten to the stage now that video editing software, cameras themselves, because it's gotten to the stage that it's also user-friendly, technically speaking, anyone can go along, and if they've got half an idea, they can go along and they can make a short story that, to be honest, if what's in the short is good, if the story is good, probably dance all over half the colour by number stories that we're getting nowadays. As I said, a lot of the films, and this is where I think the feature stuff needs to kind of catch up with the short stories. A lot of them, it is a case of, hey, we have our set rota, we have our basically corporate sponsored money making machine that just happens to fit into the horror genre, and we got a story that, you know, has been yanked around for the last decade and a half, but hey, guess what? Kids haven't seen it in the last 2 years. We'll roll it back out again and cash in. Well, hey. Whereas with the shorts, they can't do that. They have to be original, or at the very least, they have to take an original approach. I think that over time we're going to see a lot of the people, as you were saying, they get to do shorts and they get to show you what they could be like further down the line. And in time, especially given the way that it's going, in the next decade or so, most of the traditional filmmakers are going to be scratching their heads going, where did we go wrong? Well, all these people that are doing shorts strictly for the internet are going to be the ones that are going, hey, guess what? These are stories. These are the films that we want to do. And people like them. And now they're feature films and they're not just shorts. That's the way I see it going. It's the only real difference, I think, between the feature film industry and us, the public, because let's face it, we're the ones that are doing the short stories, so I think those of you in Hollywood, you're boned, ha, and it's going to be us that does it, ha, and there's not a damn thing you can do to stop us. Anything else you have to say on it?
I don't know. I think that we actually wrapped it up for you guys, and yeah, we love shorts here at the EGS. Giz loves them as well, and I've seen some that he handpicked himself. They're lovely.
You mean the musical, zombie musical?
Oh no, do you know that one you picked with that fish girl, or what was she eel girl? That was exactly the title of it.
Yeah, I didn't pick that one. I just endorsed it once I watched it because I thought it was awesome. She was interesting.
And the myth of the fish lady, I suppose.
Not so much, as I said.
Siren.
But yes. All right, since we're waffling on, we might as well bring this to a close. At the end of the day, shorts are around for a reason. That reason being to demonstrate what we are capable of doing. And to also demonstrate to you that are bringing out the mainstream horror movies that, hey, cop the fuck on before we take your fucking jobs. Alright? Okay? End of discussion.
Like what you see here? Don't forget to comment, subscribe, and like. And visit us at the GoreSociety.com. Stay spooky, minions.